In John 10, when it says, I have come to give you life and life more abundantly, that abundantly is an exponential. It's more than you could ever have on your own. Yet the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Destroy means to ruin you. Well, what I'm going to share with you inside can ruin you. So pay attention and then go through your cupboards. And don't tell me, well, Annette, when I finish this, I'll buy something better. I'm going to share with you that it's killing you. So why would you finish it? And don't give it to your neighbors either. Pitch it, throw it in the trash can, or take it back to the store and say you're allergic to it and get your money back. You are worth feeding your body as if you are royalty. Wait a minute, you are. You're a royal priesthood. You've been bought with a price. Now live like it. All right, let's go inside. I'm going to have to be really careful how I do this video because I don't want to have to buy this food to bring it home to show you. I don't want to have to pay for it. Okay, so stay tuned. Get your shopping list ready and start cleaning out that pantry. Let's get started on the 7 ingredients that might be killing you. Now the first one is artificial flavors. Yes, even though I feed Trixie a very healthy diet, she would still rather go for a stick. But what I want you to focus on is this word right here, artificial, meaning fake. Artificial ingredients, artificial flavors, they're going to contribute to neurotoxicity. That's your neural system, that's your brain, that's your neurons, that's everything that connects and communicates in your body. Second is organ damage. Third is reproductive toxicity. We have an alarming rate of people who are very infertile today that never should have been. And then lastly, it's cancer. The second word is fractionated oils, which can also be hydrogenated. We're also very familiar with trans hydrogenated oils, trans fats, and that has been removed from most labels, but yet the processing hasn't improved like you would want. To understand fractionating oils, it's a process used mostly with palm oils and palm kernel oil. It involves heating the oil and then cooling it really quickly so it breaks up into fractions, which is where it gets its name. And it's very uncommon to find the word hydrogenated anymore because people are starting to pay attention to it. But we still need to be aware of the fact that this is still very harmful. The key thing in the filtration process when they make this oil is it separates most of the liquid part of the oil, leaving a high concentration of solid and unhealthy fat, which what that does is very toxic for human consumption. So the oils we want to watch out for are palm kernel oil, soybean oil, corn oil, canola oil, and even some coconuts if they're not processed correctly. What we're looking for is an unrefined, unprocessed oil. And you're not going to find your best oils in these ingredients. Your best oils, coconut oil is typically very good, but we're looking for the least processed. Olive oil, if it's an extra virgin, first pressing, that's going to be a key oil that we want in our foods, along with avocado oil. Those are our best foods, our best oils that we can use for health benefits. These are going to create an imbalance in your omega-3 and your omega-6, which leads to inflammation. So many people keep sending in emails about how do I get rid of inflammation? Well, we start to eliminate these oils in our pantry. Third ingredient I want to point out is MSG. MSG hides behind many names such as yeast extract, natural flavoring, autolyzed yeast extract, caseinate, textured protein, and many other names. You may not notice it when you have one serving, but the accumulative effect in your body can be very detrimental. Migraines, seizures, obesity, ALS, Parkinson's, infections, Alzheimer's, so many other issues are being attributed to the MSG in our food. MSG is not a natural substance. It actually can be a natural substance, but what is being put in our food is not the natural substance that should be there. It's a very accelerated flavor enhancer to get us to love to eat and to love to eat more than our body needs. Ingredient number 4 is potassium benzoate. It also can be called sodium benzoate. And I did find this in the products that we looked at today, specifically the low-fat dressing. And there you go. This is going to damage DNA. I don't know about you, but that is the last thing I want happening in my day. So make your own dressings, enjoy your own foods that you know how it was made and how it was put together, what foods were put into it, how it was grown, and you will protect your family. Be careful of syrups, jams, and pickles. I don't like anyone messing with my pickles. Number 5 is artificial colors. You already know this, but yet are you still buying foods for yourself or your kids that have artificial colors? The number one reason why we want to avoid artificial colors is because of cancer. Red dye, number 3, linked to thyroid cancer. Green, linked to bladder cancer. Yellow, linked to adrenal and kidney tumors. Yes. And why would we serve it in a cereal to start the day? Number 6 is acesulfame K, which could also be seen as acesulfame potassium on the food label. And then a second food, which is not the same. These are not the same ingredients at all. But the other one is sucralose. I'm just combining it here because I really want to take this moment to make sure you're aware that this is not a health food. This is not a health promoting food for you or your children. So looking up here, what it's been known for is benign thyroid cancer. Now, it's understood that actually acesulfame K may not be the cause of the cancer. It might be the methylene chloride that is used to process it, to manufacture it, that might be the carcinogen effect. So they may say, no, this has been proven not to cause cancer, but yet what they're not telling you, the process that they use can be the reason for the carcinogenic effect. Number 7 is potassium sorbate. Now you may say, well, Annette, I've never seen that on a label. Well, believe me, it is out there. I found it on the Entenmann's donuts. So what we need to realize, we need to avoid this at all costs. There are many scientists out there saying this is totally no problem, it's not toxic. It's still an altered chemical and it has carcinogenic effects. So where you're going to see this is in ice cream and baked goods. At all costs, avoid this. Now, as a bonus, here are some other words I want you to avoid on the label. Corn. Make sure if you buy anything that's corn, it must be a non-GMO. Soy lecithin. That is a terrible product to have in your foods, yet it creates that creaminess in our chocolate. Totally avoid this. Only soy should be consumed if it's proven without a shadow of a doubt that it's non-GMO. We do not want soy lecithin in the health of our children. Polysorbate 80, this is another carcinogen. You're going to find it a lot in ice cream, so be careful of this. Do not feed this to your children if you want to have healthy grandchildren. Sodium chloride is not salt. It is a chemical. Propyl gallate, you want to avoid that. BHT and BHA, never ever serve your children that for breakfast in their cereals. Thanks for sticking with this video. I want to share with you 3 principles that you can follow, that you don't have to be a scientist to know what to feed your family. Plus, we need to understand what is happening in the food industry. All of the foods that I've shown you today are lab experiments, and lab experiments require a rat. And I don't want to be that rat. Do you want to be that rat? And realize, even though I've told you that this food is proven to cause harm to this organ system, you're not just a collection of organ systems. We aren't like going to the zoo. There's the giraffes, there's the elephants, there's the penguins. No, you are one system, and what affects one system affects every system. So although research has only been done in certain systems of your body, everything that causes harm to your body affects your entire body. So these foods that you might be feeding your children or your grandchildren, you're not helping them. You're not helping them to have the life that God intends for them. You're actually inhibiting the success that they're going to have in life. So why would you feed them these foods that are harmful? Now, when you try to take your kids away from these foods, you try to no longer buy them, no longer serve them, you might have some kickback. These foods that are lab experiments are created to create a sensation in your gut and in your mind so that you crave these foods. They oversensitize your taste buds so that normal foods, broccoli, carrots, celery, are not going to have any good flavor for you. So we really need to pay attention. And if a food causes a huge withdrawal and crying fits, we need to ask ourselves, wow, that is totally causing harm to my child or my grandchildren's brain. So why would I want to refeed that? Why would I want to give in to that fit that they're causing and just say, oh, it's not worth it, I'm just going to give you the sugar? No. Be strong, be courageous, be smart, be the smart parent, be the strong parent. It will pay back in years to come when you see your child graduate from high school or college and you're like, wow, I'm so glad I saved those brain cells. And when you hold your grandbaby in your arms, you're just like, I'm so glad I took care of my children when they were growing up. I'm so glad I taught my grandchildren how to eat healthy, because it's going to pay back in generations to come Lord willing, we're still here. So I really want you to pay attention to this. When it says in John 10:10, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Destroy means ruin. I know I already told you that, but you need to understand processed foods are created for one reason, and that besides the greed of the company, but they're created to create an addictive process in your body. You are being taught to eat these foods and to become addicted to it, so you can't eat just one. There's a science behind can't eat just one, and when they say it, they aren't kidding. I just so want to thank you for sticking with this video. It's sometimes difficult to recognize we might not be buying the best foods for our family or for ourselves, and there are better options, and you will feel so amazing when you choose the better options. Thanks for watching. I'm Annette Reeder from thebiblicalnutritionist.com. Please be sure and check out our Academy page, biblicalnutritionacademy.com. Till next time.